A very warm welcome to IDFC First Bank presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 11. I'm Ritwika Gupta and you're watching our very special award series all through this week. At a time when their peers are discovering video games, makeup and planning parties, 11-year-old Prasiddhi Singh, 16-year-old Nav Agarwal and 20-year-old Advait Thakur are excelling in domains that transcend conventional interests, demonstrating exceptional accomplishments. Tonight, as part of our special award series, we are putting a spotlight on these young minds of tomorrow. But before we get to the panel discussion, let me quickly tell you about what they do. Prasiddhi Singh is the founder of Prasiddhi Forest Foundation and is an advocate of biodiversity. She recently visited COP28 as one of the youngest delegates. Nav Agarwal, founder of One Step Greener, is committed to waste management and recycling and also received the prestigious International Children's Peace Prize in 2021. Advait Thakur, founder of Apex Infosys, is harnessing the power of technology to bridge the digital divide and is one of the youngest CEOs of India. And joining them on the panel is none other than Sanjeev Bikhchandani, founder and executive vice chairman, InfoEdge, one of the first few techpreneurs in India, renowned for placing the nation on the global map. Take a look.
You know, one thing, again, that we spoke earlier about new age entrepreneurs, new age business. Well, the one important part of new is talks about, well, young minds. So for our next session, we're putting the spotlight on young minds leading the charge. So brace yourselves. This is going to be an epic journey into the minds of remarkable individuals who are igniting the spirit of entrepreneurship and changing the game pretty early on, not just for themselves, but for the world around them. We have some very interesting speakers who are coming up. And like, well, I said in my intro, they're very young. Let me first invite up on stage our moderator. This will be Ritwika Gupta. She's the Deputy News Editor at Times Network, and she's the face of Leaders of Tomorrow on ET Now. Let's invite up on stage our young brigade. First up, we have Prasiddhi Singh. He's the founder of Prasiddhi Forest Foundation. He's embarked on a mission to revitalize barren lands, one sapling at a time. Next up, we have Nav Agarwal. He's the founder of One Step Greener, and he's a proof of how going green can be convenient, impactful, and dare we say, very cool. Nav, can we have you on stage, please? Okay, he'll be here. And finally, in a world dominated by tech giants, Advait Thakur is the founder of Apex Infosys, and he's carving his own path by harnessing the power of technology to bridge the digital divide and empowering rural communities. And finally, we have one more speaker. He's the youngest of the lot. Put your hands together for Padma Shri Sanjeev Bikhchandani, co-founder of InfoEdge. Well, you know him. You've heard his ventures, Naukri.com, Jeevansathi.com, 99acres.com. And, well, there are many more. Why did I say he's the youngest? Because, ladies and gentlemen, age is just a number. And his youthful spirit, well, it's unbeatable, which is why he's a part of this very important panel. So over to you, Ritwika. You can start the show, and we'll have Nav join us very shortly.
Thank you, Sumit, and very good evening to everyone who's present here. So while we wait for Nav, let me take 2 minutes to really talk about why this session is interesting today, because at Leaders of Tomorrow, we always believing in empowering entrepreneurs with the right information. And today we thought we'll also shine a spotlight on some of the young minds of tomorrow. So on one side, I have Mr. Sanjeev Bikhchandani, who needs no introduction. He's the man behind platforms like Naukri.com, Shiksha.com, 99acres, Jeevansathi, platforms that are still relevant today. And he's one of the first few tech entrepreneurs of the country. And on the other side, I have 11 years old Prasiddhi Singh. I also have Advait Thakur, who I think a lot of us in the audiences, we will agree that I guess when we were their age, we perhaps did not even know the meaning of entrepreneurship. So they have their own business ventures, and we'll be talking about them shortly. But Sanjeev, I want to come to you first. The theme for our show tonight is Innovate to Elevate. I want to ask you, what is your definition of innovation, and how has that evolved, perhaps, over the years?
So what I've always said is that successful businesses are often built on deep customer insights. Now, deep customer insights about what? About unsolved problems, about an unmet need, some gap, right? And when you launch a new enterprise or business which solves unsolved problems, you are by definition innovating because you're doing something new. You're solving something not been solved earlier. You're doing something in a manner that has not been done earlier. So for me, customer-inspired, customer-led innovation which is based on a deep customer insight is usually very, very meaningful.
Right. So, Prasiddhi, I want to begin with you, and I want to understand what you do. I would like you to introduce yourself to our audience, and really tell us what inspired you to get kick-started on Prasiddhi Forest Foundation. Yeah, go ahead.
So, greetings, namaste, and vanakkam. I am Prasiddhi, and I am very happy to be over here. Thank you so much for inviting me to this amazing event. So I am a young environmentalist and social entrepreneur, and I have been protecting our planet for the past 7 years from the age of 4. I'm the founder of Prasiddhi Forest Foundation.
It's absolutely that.
Thank you so much. I'm the founder of Prasiddhi Forest Foundation and the Green Pillar, and till now I have planted 130,000 trees in 92 places across India, and I have mobilized 80,000 people across 20 countries. So today I take immense pleasure being a part of this event, and I am really excited for this amazing conversation. And during this journey, I also received the Prime Minister National Child Award, which is the highest civilian honor under 18 in India. And I recently had the opportunity to represent India in United Nations as the youngest COP28 delegate in UAE. And I'm really excited for this conversation.
Absolutely. And I think Nav is also in the house. Nav, can I welcome you on stage? So, Nav, just to give you a gist of what we were planning to do, I was just asking them to introduce themselves and the ventures. So let's go to you next, Love. Just talk about what you do and what really motivated you to start One Step Greener.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. My name's Nav. I'm 16 years old, and I started an NGO called One Step Greener. So I'm going to take you back to a story in 2017. I'm sure you may know that there was a landfill called the Ghazipur landfill. Now, this landfill was around about 130 meters tall. It collapsed, caught on fire, killed 2 people, and released tons and tons of toxic gases. Now, for the next 2 weeks, school was shut, and my brother, who later became the co-founder, was asthmatic. So during these 2 weeks, I saw him getting admitted into the hospital, admitted into the nurse room, and coughing throughout. And that's when I really realized that waste, especially in a country like India, is overlooked and is a serious problem. 30% of Delhi's air pollution is directly or indirectly caused by waste. And that's when the idea of One Step Greener really began. And essentially what we do is we do waste management, waste recycling, and tree plantations. We go home to home, pick up waste, take it back to our warehouse, micro-segregate it, employ people from the informal sector to the formal sector, give them jobs, give them a bank account, give them a stable source of income, take that waste, aggregate it, and then send it to manufacturers directly. So we're essentially trying to close the loop between the household waste and then sending it to the company, essentially making sure that it reaches a circular economy.
That's fantastic.
And one of the main things is education as well. And so we're able to educate people on the importance of waste, because behavioral change is really the crux of any problem we face in society today. So that's just a little bit of a background on what we do.
It's time for a quick break here. We'll be back shortly. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're watching IDFC First Bank Presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 11 Awards Special Edition with me, Ritwika Gupta. Tonight, we shine a spotlight on the young minds of tomorrow through a very special panel discussion titled Igniting the Spirit of Entrepreneurship Early. Take a look.
Advait, I would like to get you involved here. Now, you make smart homes. And for all those who are not aware, Advait is 20 years old, but he started his venture at the age of 11. Tell me, what got you fascinated with smart home technology?
So, first of all, warm greetings on the occasion of Swami Vivekananda Jayanti, and it's great to be here. So, since I was a kid, I was like fascinated with tech, and
How old are you now?
I'm 20 now. Yeah. I used to like play games at my cousin's place, and I guess the famous gaming console at that time was PS2. And the story began like this. I came home and I asked my parents that I also want that. So they said, see, how much ever you insist, we are not going to give you that PlayStation. But what we could do is we could give you an internet access which you wanted for a long time. So now at that time, you could imagine like today getting an internet access is like everyone has it. But at that time, we used to have like a speed up dial-up connection. So I was like, okay, let's get an internet connection, and I would still be able to play online games. So that's how I got my first internet access at the age of 7, I think. And so yeah, the journey began. I used to play games, and so I stumbled upon YouTube at that time, I guess at the age of 8, and there was crash course on how to develop a website. So that was fascinating for me, and I thought like let's do it. And that's how I ended up creating my first website at the age of 9. So that actually led me to like a fascination into the tech industry. Over the period of time, I also ventured into web hosting and stuff. So like when you make a website, you also want to host it somewhere. So I also ventured into that. Now, fast forward to I guess 2014. An NGO approached me through my mom's reference, and they said that, Advait, okay, you know how to build a website. Why don't you do it for us? Because digital marketing at that time was pretty expensive, and as an NGO, we can't afford it. So why don't you build it for us? And I was not a professional back then. I said, okay, I also will get a chance to learn through the process and also build it. So that's how it emerged, Apex Business Solutions as a digital agency. And we helped NGOs gain exposure through like online tools.
Wonderful, wonderful. Sanjeev, I want to come to you. You heard them talk about their business ventures, their ideas, their vision so eloquently. The energy and the passion, with they spoke. Tell me, does it resonate with your experience, when you started out?
Well, I quit my job when I was 27. Okay, so when I see somebody who's 11 and 16 and 20 starting organizations, I am gobsmacked. Second, when I see them on stage speaking so confidently, when I was that age, there's no way I could go on stage, I could speak like this. I think well done.
Absolutely, absolutely. But tell me, do you see certain opportunities present today that perhaps did not exist when you first started out, or vice versa?
Yes, of course. I mean, technology has changed many, many things. Connectivity, mobile telephones, internet, VR, AR, AI, ML, I mean, a lot of new technology. So obviously the world evolves, right? Even I started an internet business in '97 when there were just 14,000 internet accounts in the country, and people said, what is this? So look, society progresses, technologies evolve, and people progress. Nothing unusual about that. What is very unusual is that these 3 youngsters have done it at this age, and they have achieved and accomplished this much so early in life.
Prasiddhi, coming back to you, now your commitment to environmental initiative, that is commendable. But tell me, when you first started out, what were the challenges that you encountered? And how did you overcome them?
Yes. So My journey, I have been a nature lover ever since, from a very young age. I'm still young, but, even before I started to walk and talk, I have really admired nature, the rustling of leaves and the buzzing of bees and the waves of seas. That is something I have always enjoyed. But then at the age of 4, in 2016, I live in Tamil Nadu. And Tamil Nadu, being a coastal state, is always on the front lines of climate change. And we, in 2016, experienced a Vada cyclone. And that was petrifying for me. Because treating trees like my friends, when I saw them getting uprooted, the road flooded, I was disheartened by this devastating catastrophe. So I said that, no, I'm not just going to cry or wait for someone else to come and do something. I am going to take action. So with that little nature lover heart, I started to participate in normal tree plantation drives. I started to, gain whatever acceptable experience I could from the very basics, from planting trees, to growing them, nurturing them, maintaining them, to even understanding that why it is important to plant indigenous trees, resilient trees, not causing an ecosystem discord, not doing monoculture. And after understanding that, at the age of 6 in 2018, I decided that I want to start something of my own. And then I took my target that I want to plant 100,000 trees by the end of the year 2022 when I was 6 years old. And then the journey began. So actually, when I took this target, I did not have, an action plan in my mind that how am I going to achieve this, where will I plant it, who will support, how am I going to get the saplings, how will I maintain it, but I had that goal. And there is where the journey begins. And for me, challenges are actually very fascinating. I enjoy challenging the challenges because, it's all about perception, whether we take it as an adventure or whether we take it as a problem. So when it all started, I want all of you to imagine a 6-year-old girl, all right, going to government officials and headmasters of different schools and principals and farmers and villagers and block development officers and telling them that I want to do a plantation, an indigenous tree plantation, and that too to support our planet, to enhance biodiversity. So you cannot expect them to instantly correlate with my mission, right? But then that drive that was there in me, that really supported me to convince them, to make them understand my mission, and slowly people started joining my mission. So my first actually challenge was convincing people. Then when it started, I found land and I found the area. That was the first plantation, and it was just 500 trees. But then came funds, which is a huge problem. So I really started off with a small idea. I said that how about I put this skill of art to some use for our planet, and I started creating bookmarks and paper pencils and grow kits and doing art, and I started doing fundraising. And through that, still I was not able to raise funds just for 500 trees. So then I said that I just took out pen and paper and I listed down where were most of my funds going. And I realized that they were going in the saplings. So I decided, why do I not create my own nursery? So what I did is I created my own eco-army of like-minded children, and I started to go door to door to collect fruit seeds. I would say that I will come next week and eat the fruits, save the seeds, dry them, and I will come and collect them. I created a community nursery, then I created a school nursery. Now I have a farmer's nursery where I employ them, I support them, give them salary, provide them all the resources. Fantastic. And that has 30,000 saplings now. And that is where I procure all the saplings for my tree plantation. And now it has become an ecosystem. So one place, then another, going to different places. Now I also have my own registered NGO, which is a non-profit organization and a social enterprise. And slowly it grew. And I must thank everybody who was there with me during this process, from the panchayat presidents to the tehsildars to the block development officers.
Sure. Prasiddhi, I just want to bring in Sanjeev here, in the context of what, Prasiddhi and even Nav is trying to achieve, right?
Yes.
Social entrepreneurship, what advice would you have for them, and how can they probably, perhaps leverage technology, right, to get their voices heard, especially in the context of, say, climate change or environmental initiatives? What what advice would you have for them?
Look, the advice is very standard, social media and there's, I mean, press coverage, right? And you'll reach many, many people. But you know, when I close my eyes and listen, I imagine it's a 40-year-old speaking, right? And I mean, at the age of 6, to understand what monoculture is, at the age of 11, to talk about ecosystems, I mean, it's quite remarkable. I think this is new India.
Absolutely. So, Sanjeev, you heard their stories. Tell me, what would your one-liner advice be for each one of them?
Now, I have a few questions first. You want to finish school?
Yes. I do regular schooling.
Okay. You want to complete school. You want to go to college?
Yes, I mean, yes.
Okay, cool. That's just a clarification. No, but I think it's truly remarkable what you achieved at 11 and 16 and 20. I think it's truly remarkable. I think you should figure out, I think, what you want to do. I mean, how long do you want to do this for? Is this your calling? You want to do it for life? And if that is so, it's great. If that is not so, it's still okay, because you can always do something else. But I think it's truly remarkable what they're doing.
Fantastic. Well, I think we are completely out of time on today's panel, but it was really lovely having all of you, on stage today and talking about your journeys, even if it was, in just a limited time. But thank you so much.
Well, I see Mr. Piyush Goyal here. Sir, you want us to introduce the 11-year-old entrepreneur, the 16-year-old entrepreneur, the 20-year-old entrepreneur.
Namaste.
Yeah. Namaste.
And well, it was a lovely discussion. Thank you so much, Nav, Prasiddhi, Advait, and of course, Sanjeev. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
With that, it's a wrap on part 4 of our special awards edition. We hope you enjoyed the discussion. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.